Check, testing. I do have audio. There we go. Sounds a little hot, but I do have audio. Sorry, Coach. All right, folks, we are just about to get started. Welcome to the UCA January invite, Conway High School. We had some audio difficulties and some camera difficulties. We just now got them on. We have not started diving yet. AJ is our first diver. He is on the board. We will get started here as soon as I get the thumbs up from the head official. So once again, welcome to our January UCA invite. All right, we're going to get started with diving. That's a little loud, but we'll have to deal with it for just a minute. Our first diver is AJ Windsor from Conway doing 201B. This is a back dive, pike position 1.6. All right, my replay is a little delayed, but you were able to see it. Score 36 even. Got good scores there. Up next is Cody Wright from Conway doing 202C. This is a back somersault tuck position, a 1.5. It's a little dark in here. The cameras are a little dark from what I can see. Hopefully it looks a little better on your screen. But we have a lot of lights in here, so it kind of washes everything out. It's a good dive. We're waiting on one of the judges. What? What was it? What? I didn't watch it. Oh. So do you want to clear? Will you clear those five? We're gonna clear them and you can rescore. So Cody had a 2-point deduction on that one. They are rescoring. All right, his score 20.25. Next diver is Jonathan Sattler from Conway doing 202C. This is a back somersault, tuck position 1.5. His score 19.5. I messed up his replay, folks. Sorry about that. Next, let's see. Next diver is Spencer Seal from Arkadelphia. 202A. This is a back somersault, straight position 1.7. That was a pretty dive. He had his hands down by his side, so he did not get the deduction. You see right there. Scored 29.75. Next is Sydney Covington from Arkadelphia, 203C, back 1.5 somersault, tuck position. This is a 2.0. So he over-rotated that one. Let's see. Made a big splash. Still got decent scores. Scored 29 even. Next is Timothy LeVar from Arkadelphia doing 202A, back somersault, straight position 1.7. I don't know that I've seen these Arkadelphia divers. Maybe once in the fall. I can't recall. It's a good looking dive. See if I caught the replay. Our next diver is Rebecca Pendergraft from Conway, 201B, back dive, pike position 1.6. That was a beautiful dive from Rebecca. There she is on the replay. Very pretty. Her score 36.8. Up next, Cora Carpenter from Conway doing 202B. This is a back somersault, pike position 1.6. That was a good looking dive for her. Her score 30.4. Up next is Lucy Holmes from Conway. Lucy's doing 201A, back dive, straight position 1.7. That was also a pretty dive. Nice job, Lucy. Her score, 34.85. Next is Cora Del Solio from Conway. 201A, back dive, straight position, 1.7. So Sakura is a senior. She goes by Cora or Cora. That was nice. And Cora, the other Cora, are juniors. Scored 21.25. And it says Lily. Looks like Lily or Lucy is a junior as well. All right, round 2, AJ. 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault, pike position, 1.7. See if I can change cameras here to try to get his dive. Excellent. I hope the replay comes. Check this out. There it is. Good approach. Not quite back to vertical. Score 39.1. Did not get back to vertical. His scores didn't really reflect that, but look right there. He didn't quite get back there. Next is Cody, 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault, pike position, 1.7. Good job, Cody. Cody is another senior. Oh, his replay. Let's see. There we go. Cody scored 28.05. Up next, Jonathan, 101C, forward dive, tuck position, 1.2. His feet came apart there. Not sure. Did I get the replay? I only have a split second to hit replay, so. Yeah, his feet came apart. Score 16.2. Next is Spencer, 104C, forward, double somersault, tuck position. This is a 2.2. This is a double. High degree of difficulty, should have some good scores if he hits the entry. He did, he got his feet in first. He did not get back to vertical. But, he also noticed he went pretty horizontal. He went pretty far right to left. It was still a good dive. Almost ended in a cannonball. Score 40.7. Got a high score because of his high degree of difficulty. Next is Sydney Covington, 105C, forward, 2.5 somersault, tuck position. This is a 2.4. All right, this is even a more difficult dive. He's going to 2.5. He should be going in head first. Hopefully he can get back to vertical. He did almost. He made the 2.5. He still went horizontal right to left. You can see on the replay. If he went up, it would have had better scores. Score 45.6. That was a very good dive. Next is Timothy, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault tuck position. This is a 1.6. So a similar dive, 1.5 this time instead of the 2.5. Not quite as high a degree of difficulty. That was a good dive. He still went right to left. They need to go vertical. They will score higher at state, conference and state if they go more vertical instead of horizontal. Scored 21.6. This is Rebecca, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault tuck position, 2.2. And Rebecca, I apologize. It looks like I have your name spelled wrong. That was a pretty dive. 1.5. Good rotation. She needs, that's not her. There she is. She needs to get a little higher, a little more height on that dive. Allow her to rotate faster. Score 45.1. Next is Cora, 301B, reverse dive, pike position, 1.7. That was a very pretty dive. That was our first reverse. For those of you that might be new to diving, reverse is rather difficult for these swimmers, divers to accomplish. It's a mental thing. Once they're able to get over it, they're usually pretty good at it. Score 30.6. But it is a mental thing to get there. Next is Lucy, 101B, forward dive, pike position, 1.3. So I didn't see a pike on that. I think the judges are talking about it. Yeah, the judges are discussing it. What? What did he say? We're getting a judge's verdict. So she didn't have position. If you see, she didn't. Her arms on the pike. She did not get all the way to a pike position. Do you need it? We're getting there. All right, her score was 13.65. All right, this is Cora 5211A. This is a back dive with a half twist, straight position, 1.8. This is the last diver of this second round. She needs to go ahead and go. She's got it in her head now, folks. There we go. She struggled a little bit with that one. She did complete the dive. I don't know if it would be a deduction, the balk at the beginning, where she lost. I think the judges are talking about it a little bit. Score 13.5. Our next diver this is round 3. Up next is AJ, 301B. This is a reverse dive, pike position 1.7. All right, so AJ does a very good job of getting vertical and not going horizontal. You can see what I mean here. He goes straight up, straight down. He did not get back to full vertical like he needs to. Let's see. But he went primarily straight up and straight down. That was a good dive. Score 37.4. Good job, AJ. Next is Cody. Cody's doing a 401C. This is an inward dive, tuck position, 1.4. People walking behind the board, so he had to pause. Good job, Cody. That's AJ's replay. There's Cody's replay. Good job. Scored 26.6. Next is Jonathan, 5211A. This is a back dive, half twist, straight position, 1.8. To get the most points on that dive, you can see his knees come apart pretty bad right there. Score 1 point. Sorry. My bad. Which judge? Judge 3. All right, his score 27 even. Next is Spencer, 302C. This is a reverse somersault, tuck position, 1.6. Spencer is pretty Very athletic. We'll see how he does on the reverse. Excellent, excellent job. That was perfect. It's not the right replay. There we go. That's the right replay. Good job. Score 33.6. Next is Sydney, doing 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault, tuck position. This is a 2.1. Here's another reverse. Let's see what kind of height he gets. Oh, he did not make it all the way around on that one. Failed dive. So that one was a failed dive. He won't get any points on that, as he did not make it all the way back around, unfortunately. All right. Next is Timothy, doing 302C. This is a reverse somersault, tuck position, 1.6. All right, so the last one was a 1.5. This one is just a 1. A single somersault, backflip. But it is a reverse. He nailed it. That was excellent. And Timothy. Got some high scores. He did get back to vertical. Score 32 even. On to the ladies. Rebecca, 203C. This is a back 1.5 somersault, tuck position. This is a 2.0. Again, Rebecca is a junior. She's been diving with us for 3 years. She's improved quite a bit since she was a freshman. It's been fun to watch. All the ladies have. Nice. 1.5. She still needs some height. She needs to get higher on the board. She needs to use that bounce, the oscillation, to project her up higher. That would allow her to rotate faster. Score 32 even. Because she didn't get back to vertical, if you see in the replay. She just barely got her hands back in. Next is Cora, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault, tuck position. This is a 1.6. That was good. Cora over-rotated on her entry on this. See if you can see it. She did not go up. She went more out. And rotated as she did a somersault as she went in the water. Score 32 even. Still a good dive. Next is Lucy. 301C, reverse dive, tuck position, 1.6. I'm not sure if Lucy has a reverse. Let's see. Oh, she got it. Very nice dive. I didn't remember if Lucy had a reverse. That's very good. Even went in pretty straight up and down. Scored 29.6. Up next is Cora, 101A, forward dive, straight position, 1.4. This is a pretty basic dive, but believe it or not, it is rather difficult to nail all of the points the judges are looking for. That was good. Scores, or relatively high scores. So 1.4 degree of difficulty, so her total won't be huge. But she did get some good scores. Score 20.3. That's the last diver of round 3. We are moving to round 4. All right, round 4, first diver is AJ from Conway, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault tuck position, 2.2. Let's get a better camera angle on AJ. He is rather tall. And he uses the boards. He oscillates well, uses his body weight to give him a lot of height. And rotated perfectly. Do you see how straight he went into the water? Watch his entry. Let's see if I got it. Boom. Great job. Score 51.7. Next is Cody, 301C. This is a reverse dive, tuck position, 1.6. Now, I do remember it took Cody a little while to get his reverse, but he's had it for a few years, so. His feet came apart. I'm not sure what he was swimming in midair. See if you can check his feet out. Watch his feet start shaking. Right there. Scored 28.8. You got to keep your feet together, keep your knees and feet still. Next diver is Jonathan. Jonathan's doing 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 1.6. So he didn't get all the way back around. He did get back in. It will count, but he did not get back to vertical. You can see he went in doing a somersault. He was still coiled up. Scored 22.4. Next diver, Spencer, 403C. This is an inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck position, a 2.2. That was a good dive. It could be improved if he went more vertical. He went, look, right to left. Watch his dive. Right, left. See how far over? Score 41.8. Here at this pool, you can use that climbing wall over there as an indicator. They really should be right in the middle of that. Next is Sydney, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 2.2. So let's see if Sydney stays within that gray climbing wall over there. Pretty close. He still went a little horizontal. And that will be called against you in state when they bring in some of the college judges, which happens. Score 35.2. That's a very good dive. Our next diver is Timothy, 402C, inward, somersault, tuck position, 1.6. So that one was, of course, a simpler dive, but he did not go as far to the left either. Score 30.4. Next diver is Rebecca, doing 5-2-2-3D. This is a back somersault, 1.5 twist, free position, 2.3. That was a good dive, 1.5 twist, facing the back wall, opposite of the board, the other end of the pool. Score 44.85. Next diver is Cora, 5-2-1-1-A, back dive, half twist, straight position, 1.8. That was a good dive. She actually got some good height on that for as small as she is. Score 33.3. Next diver is Lucy, 401C. This is an inward dive, tuck position, 1.4. That was a good dive. She did all of her motion within that gray bar over there, the gray climbing wall. So she stayed close to the board, and she made it back to vertical. Scored 25.9. Next is Cora, 401C, inward dive, tuck position, 1.4. That was a good dive. She got back to vertical. That was good. Scored 22.4. Round 5. This is AJ, 5-2-2-5-D. This is a back somersault with 2.5 twists. Free position, a 2.7. I'm going to go to the other camera, see if we can get all of this. Twisting in high school diving. We tend to see those that do gymnastics, have some form of gymnastics background, usually are the better twisters. A lot of people can figure out the somersaults, the flipping. But it's the twisting that is very unusual, unnatural. AJ, I don't think, has any gymnastics background, so he is a bit of a conundrum. He's an excellent diver, a lot of practice. His feet did come apart. He did make it all the way back around. It is hard to see 2.5 twists, but he needed to make it. He made it about 2.25. Let's see if they give it to him. If you watch, he ends up facing that far wall. Score 49.95. So he didn't quite make it all the way around. That will count against him when we get to state. Next is Cody, 5-1-2-2-D. This is a forward somersault, 1 twist, free position, 1.9. Job, Cody. His feet came apart. 36.1. His feet came apart on that. Would have had better scores if he kept his feet together. Judges can see that. If I can see it, they can see it. Up next is Jonathan, 401C, inward dive, tuck position, 1.4. I do have the luxury of the replay, but you can see it. The judges are sitting immediately to my left. So he struggled a bit on his entry there. He did get his inward tuck, sort of. He didn't quite get his feet in. Let's see. So he didn't get great scores. Now, he did get his feet tucked. 16.1. Next diver is Spencer, 5231D. This is a back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, free position, 2.1. All right, there's a lot going on in this dive. 1.5 somersaults, half twist. So he'll be going in head first, and should be facing this way, I think. Yeah, there we go. Good job. That was a pretty dive. He kept his feet together, too. Lost my camera. Sorry, Spencer, I lost my camera. Score 44.1. Don't know why I lost my camera on that, folks. Hopefully that was just a one-time thing. That was just the replay that failed. All right, next diver is Sydney, 5331D. This is a reverse 1.5 somersault, half twist, free position, a 2.2. This is a big dive. I hope the replay works so we can see what happens here. See if he can get vertical. Nice. Oh, that was pretty. Reverse 1.5. Yeah, he did it. Excellent. Let's see if the reverse replay caught it. Very good. He actually had pretty good position on that. Score 42.9. Up next, Timothy, 5221D, back somersault, half twist, free position, 1.7. But we're only doing 6. All right, I don't know if I caught this replay. Doesn't look like it. Sorry about that. Let's see. Score 32.3. Sorry, Timothy. Now for the ladies. Rebecca, 301B, reverse dive, pike position, 1.7. That was a very pretty dive. She still needs to go a little bit more vertical, but it was still within a couple of meters of the board. So it was still good position. She was just sailing a bit. 39.95. Next is Cora, 401B, inward dive, pike position, 1.5. Very pretty dive, Cora. Straight up, straight down. Good job. Not much to say about that one. 32.25. Next diver, Lucy, 5121D, forward, somersault, half twist, free position, 1.7. Was there a twist in there? That's a failed dive. She did not get her twist in there, unfortunately. Next diver is Cora, 102C, forward, somersault, tuck position, 1.4. And that last dive, Lucy did not get her twist in. So unfortunately, she gets a 0 on that dive. Cora tried to throw a twist in there. Look at the very end, her knees are pointing towards the camera. Oh, where's my replay? Lost my replay, I apologize. Score 16.1. On to round 6, our final round tonight. Our first diver is AJ Windsor of Conway, 105C, forward, 2.5 somersault, tuck position, a 2.4. Very nice. I hope the replay works. Come on, replay. All right, it's working. He stays directly in line with the barrier over there, the climbing wall. Excellent dive. Score 58.8. Very nice. Next is Cody Wright from Conway, 101A, forward dive, straight position, 1.4. All right, Cody needs to end on a more difficult dive in competition. It was very pretty. That was well done. But he needs to do that one in competition and end on something more difficult. His score, 26.6. As I know he can do more complicated dives, higher degree difficulty. Next is Jonathan Sattler from Conway, 302C. This is a reverse somersault, tuck position, 1.6. All right. Failed dive. Next is Spencer Seal from Arkadelphia, 203C, back 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 2.0. He's adjusting the board. Because of his weight, it changes the fulcrum position of the board. Makes it behave a little differently based on your height and weight. If you were wondering what he was doing. So that was a good dive. It was a 1.5. He was still in a tuck position when he started to go into the water. Yeah, he barely got his arms back. But he did get his hands in. He should get a good score. Score 35 even. Our next diver is Sydney Covington from Arkadelphia, 204C, back, double somersault, tuck position, 2.0. The sun has reached my station. I can't see anything. I can't even see the divers hardly. That looks like a good dive. Score 43, even. Our next diver is Timothy LeVar from Arkadelphia. 203C, back 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 2.0. So he did make it all the way around. He actually almost did a double. He almost over-rotated all the way. You can see his feet just barely made it before his head hit. I'm sorry, his head hit just before his feet did. Scored 28 even. Our next diver is Rebecca Pendergraft from Conway, doing 103B, forward 1.5 somersault, pike position. It's a 1.7. Oh, that was a good entry. I still would like to see her get higher. If you're watching this, Rebecca, I'd like to see some height. You get higher scores. These are high scores, but in state you will get higher scores if you get some height on this. Very good dive. 38.25. Our next diver is Cora Carpenter from Conway. 201A. This is a back dive, straight position, 1.7. That was a good dive. It's not the best I've ever seen her do that dive. She could do more complicated dives, that's for sure. And her scores weren't great. 22.1. Her feet came apart there at the very end. She kind of struggled. She didn't get very high on that. She didn't use the board. Next is Lucy Holmes from Conway. 202C, back somersault, tuck position, 1.5. Good job, Lucy. That was Cora. There's Lucy. Her feet came apart, if you saw that. Scored 27 even. Our last diver tonight is Cora Del Solio from Conway, 301C. This is a reverse dive, tuck position, 1.6. And failed dive. Failed dive. I told you reverses are very difficult. They are very mental. Once the kids get over it, they do tend to stick with it. So hopefully Cora and the other, Jonathan, I think it was, continue to work on it, continue to practice, and get that reverse. So we are done here. We'll have the scores in just a second. All right, on the boys' side, in third place with a score of 195.7 from Arkadelphia, Sydney Covington. In second place, with a score of 224.95, also from Arkadelphia, Spencer Seal. And in first place, with a score of 272.95, from Conway, AJ Windsor. Great job. I also have the ladies here with a score of 131 in third place, Lucy Holmes from Conway. With a score of 180.65 from Conway, Cora Carpenter. And in first place with a score of 236.95 from Conway, Rebecca Pendergraph. All right, that concludes the diving meet. We are going to reset. I will sign off here in just a minute. We're going to reset and switch over to swimming. See you in a bit.